Friday Night Fights presented by Miller High Life. And we're at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We've got world-class heavyweights in Las Vegas. In our main event, Hasim Rahman, one of the top heavyweights in the world. A man who was outpointing David Tua before a controversial stoppage. He'll face Frankie Swindell, an experienced fighter who's battled with the best.
We are set for tonight's main event here on Friday Night Fights on ESPN2, presented by Miller High Life. We are at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we have heavyweights for you. Hasim Rahman, The Rock, squaring off against the veteran Frankie Swindell. They are getting set to make their way into that 21-foot by 21-foot ring here in Las Vegas. Let's take a closer look at tonight's main event.
Matchup Hasim Rahman against Frankie Swindell, and you find Rahman is 9 years younger. He's got the better record. He's 3 inches taller. He's ranked. Swindell is not. He's even got a nickname, The Rock. Swindell has none. Offensively, I give Hasim the edge based on his better jab, faster hands, and more powerful punches. He's experienced against tough opposition, so it would seem easy picking for Rahman. Not so fast. Swindell is smart, tough, and experienced, but sometimes he does just enough to lose. If Swindell starts early, stays busy, and doesn't give away rounds, he can make things quite interesting. The strategy for each man is simple. For Swindell, it's to get inside. His size dictates that. He'll try to back up Rahman with a stiff jab, allowing him to move in. Once inside, he'll try to rock the Rahman with body punches and lean his 246 pounds on him, trying to wear him down. The strategy for Rahman is to stay outside. He'll want to use his height and reach advantage and keep Swindell at the end of his jab. Outbox his shorter opponent. When he sees the opening, he'll launch a powerful straight right hand at Swindell like he does here against David Tua. Defensively, these guys are pretty even. If Swindell is to make the fight last into the later rounds, he'll need to utilize his defensive advantage of slipping punches. As Frankie knows, leather does not taste good. Head movement means survival for Swindell. The intangibles. Sometimes Rahman is slow with the jab, especially when he throws only one at a time. Swindell must look to time that slow jab with his right hand. Swindell cuts and his scar tissue could be busted open. And finally, Swindell has not won a decision since July 17, 1993.
Frankie Swindell, 246 pounds at the weigh-in. And in his last 5, he is 1, 2, and 2. With a draw against Al Cole in his last fight. Many people thought Swindell won that one. He had the draw against Ross Purity. We thought he was an easy winner, but got a draw there. And 2 losses to Elisir Castillo. Hasim Rahman has 2 losses, as we illustrated in that piece, to set it up against David Tua, Oleg Moskev. He's coming off the win against Corey Sanders. His last 5 opponents have a combined record of 104 wins, 50 losses, and 71 knockouts. So he sandwiched a pair of wins in between around the Moskev loss. We saw him here on Friday Night Fights against Michael Rush. The referee is Richard Steele. The unified rules will be used as they are in the great state of Nevada. Headed by Mark Ratner and the rest of the commission. They do a fine job. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Fighter cannot be saved with a bell in any round. Or the referee can stop at accidental fouls. They'll go to the scorecards after 4 rounds are complete. The judges, Chuck Jumpa, Bill Graham, and Art Lurie. Hasim Rahman just ready to go. When he was asked about the David Tua situation, he says, forget about it. I had that fight won. We'll hear more about that. And Frankie Swindell, well, he continues to box for a higher cause. He works with the North Nashville Viking football organization, and he says he's going to keep boxing until he can raise enough money so that organization and the kids can have their football program run on their own.
Well, this fight is really up to him. If he comes not to do enough to lose, because he's a wily guy, he's been in there with everybody, fought 5 former world champions. This guy been around the block 400 times, but he has to come with a desire to win, not do enough to lose, and then it could be really interesting.
Well, he felt he went underwent a rebirth of his life back in 1997. He says the old Frankie is gone. He's focused. He's been in against everybody, as we illustrated.
right there, Rotman did some good work inside. But what Swindell should have done was, once he realized Rotman was in close, as soon as he felt those punches from Rotman, he should have fired right back. Because that means the taller Rotman was no longer taller. He was small, he was close. In other words, punch at the right times. So right now, Rotman using that jab. Some people are going to say, well, he's dropping a little bit. The reason he's getting away with it, he's throwing it at the right distance. He's fully extending it, being he's taller. Even though he drops it, there's no danger of getting counted, because he's out of range. But if he throws it low from too close, then he can get counted with the right hand. Rahman is pretty basic, technically fairly sound. Guy with very little amateur background, doesn't do anything great, but does everything fairly sound, technically solid. Jab, sets up the right hand.
On the other hand, Swindell had 400 amateur bouts. 84 Olympian. This is his 61st bout as a pro.
Right now, Rahman has it the way he wants it. Using that jab, keeping the shorter man on the end of it. And later on, Rahman will be looking to set up his favorite punch. Straight right hand. He's got power in that. Good punch, Rahman.
Well, Rahman has controlled this first round, keeping Swindell at a distance with the good jab. And now he puts a nice combination together to punctuate a good round one for Rahman.
The dimensions are perfect for Rahman. Taller man, distance, he's got to have an advantage.
You know, the punch numbers through 2 rounds, and you see Rahman with 183 thrown already.
There's that right hand again. Swindell laying on the right side. Watch Swindell when he jabs. He lays on his right. Leaves a real hole for the right hand. You can't lay on the right. Right hand crosses right over. You finish on the left. Now the guy can't get that right hand off. The only way you can lay on the right like Swindell does is if you close the gap, like that. Now, of course, Rahman had no room, no distance to get the right hand off. No fire right now in the belly of Swindell. Of course, some of it has to do with the jab and the attitude of Rahman, but the cornermen of Swindell, they saw early that Swindell was not doing what he should be doing. Right from the beginning. Not looking to move his hands. This is where Swindell has to punch. Why did he not punch when he was inside with the taller man? Because he's got an attitude of a guy just going rounds, maybe. Not a guy who wants to win. He's up and down with his attitude, Swindell. So far tonight, he's been down.
Swindell tried a right hand like this. Bounced the left.
Yeah, he can still be dangerous in there because he's durable, he's experienced. And when he's in close, which he was for that moment, he'll throw short punches in between if you throw something wide. He'll look to time you, in other words. Like right here. When he's close and Rahman is throwing, Swindell will look to time and punch with him.
Rahman in control through 3. Round number 4 underway. Frankie Swindell, Hasim Rahman. And Rahman throwing at least twice as many punches per round than Swindell. And landing 3 times as many per round through the first 3 rounds. Now, Teddy, at this point, with Rahman in control, pumping the jab, shooting the right hand, Swindell not offering much resistance or throwing much back, you want to now see more out of Rahman?
Yeah, you can argue that. You can say, hey, you know, why fix it when it's not thrown? Why risk anything by overdoing it? Maybe if he overdoes it, he gets too close, gets in position where Mr. Swindell can get some off, but he has to get himself back in position. And you know what? Without risk, you don't gain anything special in this world or in this business. So he has to do a little bit more and still be responsible. Still do it right. Don't get caught. But step it up, though. Looks like he's got a guy in front of him allowing him to control him. So you know what? Run with it. Take it as far as you can take it. The guy's giving you an opportunity to step it up and maybe find a way to get him out. Well, your responsibility as a pro, find that way. Do it right and find the way.
And there's that left from Swindell.
Yeah, that's where he's dangerous, Swindell. And even though he's moved up from a light heavyweight early in his career, he can still punch. Doesn't knock out many heavyweights, though, but he can still get your attention. And he punches at the right time. That's where he's dangerous. Right in here. They're here time you. When you're throwing something, he'll throw in between. That's that experience. He's not afraid to throw in between punches. Less experienced guy would be worried. And he wouldn't throw in between. He'd throw a little bit too late after you already got your hand back. The guy who's experienced, he's not afraid to look the lion right in the mouth. Put his head in there. This is where Rahman has to watch. Either he's got to work, be good defensively, or tie up Swindell, which he did there.
Come on, work it out, get out. Work it, get out.
No different than Ayala Campos. Now Swindell trying to punch between.
Rahman has to be careful. He doesn't throw too many punches from the middle.
I think Swindell lost his mouthpiece. Swindell with a left hand. Right to the ear, and a left from Swindell.
Yeah, he's starting to wing him. And that's what he does. He wings him. Well, Rahman's been controlling the rounds, but Swindell, the experienced guy, picks spots to throw. And when you pull straight back, that left hook can be effective. And when you start winging punches like that, well, Swindell had a couple spots there where he was able to connect with some leather. But most of the round was carried by Rahman.
Teddy, you almost get the sense as we start round 5 that Swindell knows that he's not winning a decision. I mean, his last decision win was in 1993, 21 fights ago. And he knows that Rahman's chin is susceptible. Tua got him and Moskayev got him. So maybe he's just going to try to pick his spots and punch between the Rahman punches and hope maybe he tags him on that chin and knocks him out.
Well, that's how he fights. That's how he fights. He doesn't really have the physical endurance or the mental attitude at this point in his career to do enough, to be busy enough round by round to win decisions with decent fighters. And that's why he hasn't won a decision in 7 years. There's a couple reasons. One, he's fought a lot of guys in their hometowns, so sometimes he's been robbed. He's also taken fights on quick notice, and he's been beaten that way. But also, sometimes he's just, as we see, he's just not busy enough. And if he doesn't knock you out, he gets out hustled. Thus, 7 years without a decision win. That's an amazing stat when you think about it.
Yeah, especially over the span of 21 fights. Well, he's been jobbed a couple times, we illustrated.
See, there's that right hand again. Again, he was laying on the right.
Richard Seal stops the action. I'm going to just Mark Ratner before the fight handed us all the rules. They'd have to wait for a lull in the action to replace the mouthpiece. It looked like Rahman was moving in for some more.
Yeah, you don't want to break up the tempo of the fight.
According to the rules, the referee will wait to replace the mouthpiece at the first opportune moment. That was inopportune for Hasim Rahman.
Again, you can see why Swindell has gone 7 years without winning a decision. He fights in spots. He can be dangerous in spots, but with a good fighter, that will not be enough to win decisions.
Second time Rahman warned for a low blow. the right hand was there. You mentioned Swindell with all that amateur experience, competed for the '84 Olympic team. Of course, defeated in the trials by Virgil Hill.
Virgil Hill went on to win a silver medal, and of course later on in the pros went on to win light heavyweight championship of the world and defended many times.
Well, Rahman in control, nothing spectacular, but he is a little cautious because Swindell could land that counter shot. Teddy, in very short time, Eddie Futz will celebrate his 89th birthday, one of the great trainers of all time.
God bless him, and one of the great gentlemen in the business of boxing, which is more important of all time. Great ambassador to the game. Been in with many. We don't even have time to list all the world champions that he's been in their corner.
Come on, you guys, come on.
The last one of his career.
There you go now. All right, thank you.
He's fixing the turnbuckle there in the corner. Got it all squared away. Well, Swindell is doing a better job in the last couple of rounds. He's landed over 50% of his punches in each of the last 2 rounds. And we saw at the end of the last round, Rahman took exception to that late punch from Swindell after the bell. Remember, it was a punch well after the bell by David Tua that really turned around Rahman's career.
And it was a left hook, and Swindell, guess what? Swindell throws a pretty good left hook.
Numbers from round 5.
Great. Step back.
Swindell has been behind in the numbers game the entire fight. He's got to just hope to catch Rahman at an inopportune moment and land some big punches.
Very specific moments when Swindell can be effective.
The only flaw of that strategy, Teddy, is I don't know if Swindell has the power of a Tua or a Moscow.
No, he doesn't. But he can hurt him and then put a right hand. He's going to have to do it with 2 punches where they did it with 1.
Teddy's scorecard through 5 and a shutout. I agree. Be hard-pressed to find any round to give Swindell.
See, Swindell should use that jab. He's got a good jab when he uses it. And it sets up that right hand. It closed the gap for him. It set up that nice right. But Swindell is too lazy to do that consistently.
And Swindell able to exploit and maybe expose a couple of flaws in Rahman's game.
Well, Rahman, when you get close to him, he'll stand straight up. Sometimes he'll pull straight back. And when you have a left hook like Swindell and a man pulls back, well, it's made to order. Just missed that time. Because the left hook is a little long, and the guy pulls back, he'll go right into the left hook. Allow the left hook to have the range to be successful. These are spots where Swindell will look for that left hook, and he just did.
Yeah, he got it inside, and that caught the attention of Rahman.
No, you can see the spots. Rahman's got to see them though. You can see where that time he was over anxious. See, that jab's getting a little lazy by Rahman, and it's allowing Swindell to close the gap. See how slow that jab's getting? Two things are happening. It's allowing Swindell to get close, and late it might allow Swindell to time a right hand over that lazy left.
Teddy, in the last couple rounds, Swindell doing a decent job. In fact, in the last round, Swindell landed 12 of 24 power shots to Rahman's 12 of 23.
Well, as that jab goes, so goes Rahman, and so goes Swindell. Because when the jab of Rahman slows down, Swindell speeds up. He's able to close the gap. And that jab is slowing down.
So the numbers in round 6, and for Swindell, 12 of 21 more power shots. Great percentage.
I think Swindell should start getting ready to time a right hand over one of those slow jabs of Rahman now.
Teddy, you've said this in other fights that we've had here on Friday Night Fights many times. Sometimes when the chalk guy or the favored guy or the better guy lets the opponent hang around when he's dominating him early, bad things can happen.
Yeah, the guy can get brave. Confidence. Confidence can cause a lot of problems. Even if the guy's less. You let him believe he's more, you can have a problem. That's why there's upsets in this world. Teams start to believe they can win.
On the side of Rockman's trunks, he has the word rock in cutout satin. And he has lost the O. It's fallen off the trunks, and he's lost some of his O in the fight, too. And it's because he's not using that good, strong jab.
Exactly right. Now it's up to Swindell. What's he going to do about it? Swindell should start using that jab. Start using that jab. Close the gap. Now Swindell's just where he wants to be, but he's not working. Giving a free ride to Rockman.
And Rockman's also losing the K in rock on his trunks. And his chances of getting a KO might be gone.
This is where Swindell needs to look to work. Obviously, but he's not. And that is why Swindell has 19 losses. Well, one of the reasons. Doesn't work enough. Now here's the spots he can be dangerous. In these spots, Rockman can stand a little straight up, allow Swindell into punching room, and Swindell's going to look for a spot here.
Yeah, it's almost like Swindell wants Rockman to have a little success.
Swindell's taking a lot of punishment here.
Well, when push came to shove, Teddy, and the bell sounded to start the round, despite his corner's protest, Swindell said, "Ixnay on me coming out." He's not coming out.
He made a decision, and that was the decision. He's taking a lot of punishment, especially that round. A lot of it is his own fault. A lot of it to the credit of Rockman, moving his hands.
Roy Bohannon and James Mullen trying to talk him out of quitting or not wanting to fight anymore, and he just continued to say, "Hey, I can't see out of my right eye. It's over." And I wonder if it's really over totally. Rockman gets the win, 34-2. He's 28 stoppage. And we'll get a chance to talk with Hasim Rahman, who picks up the victory tonight as Frankie Swindell does not answer the bell for the start of round number 8.